sports report for the day. Now, this is the mostly sports talk show because it is mostly sports. I'm going to go into a couple of things right now that aren't sports related, but I'm going to start it off with something of a little bit of a comparison. Remember the Mitchell report? Who's on steroids? Who's not on steroids? Who uses the cream? Who's got to testify in front of Congress, Senate, whatever? Who's going to admit it? Who's not going to admit it? Whose names get released from the Mitchell report? I don't know. Is there more names? We don't know. Let's equate that to the Epstein files. Now the Epstein files is big news. It's separating people on the left. It's separating people on the right. It's a distraction from what's going on. We all know that. Do we care? Maybe. These whole Epstein file things, you got Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever her name is. This is why I'm equating the Mitchell report to the Epstein files, because it says she's got 100 names. Lots of high-profile people on that list. Lots of people are going to be in trouble. 100 names? I'd say it's got to be more than that. So what's going to happen now with the Epstein files? Is our names going to trickle out because that's going to help one side or the other? Or all these people on the left, right, that Pam Bondi knew that Donald Trump's name was going to be on the Epstein files list and gave him a heads up a couple of months ago to try to find a distraction? Got Tulsi Gabbard out there, who I love, saying Obama should be arrested for treason. All this may be true. All this may be factual. But at the end of the day, it's just distractions. The Epstein files is going to get a lot of people in trouble. And not the kind of trouble that people think like maybe cheating on their wives. Well, I guess there was cheating on wives, but and even like cheating on their taxes or cheating in life, or people that are just like, kind of bad people. I think that there's going to be some people on this list that are going to be accused of doing some heinous shit. And to say that it's a Democrat or a Republican thing is absolutely insane. Is Donald Trump on that list? Who knows? I feel that Donald Trump was over there having sex with young girls. I don't think so. But anything's possible these days. Now, all of a sudden, he wants the list, out. And the Democrats don't. It's a political pawn. Jeffrey Epstein was a piece of shit. And he was a piece of shit with a lot of connections. He knew a lot of people. He probably answers to and knows people that we don't even know names. We don't even know what they look like. They're just very bad people with a ton of money who are running the world. Everybody says Bill Clinton's on that list. I fully believe Bill Clinton's on that list. People say all sorts of other politicians and hedge fund guys are on this list. All I know is you're hiding some disgusting shit that happened. A couple of weeks ago, let's go back to the P. Diddy shit. Puff Daddy got off. Puff Daddy is garbage. P. Diddy's a garbage human being. Let's just take it for what it is. There's one video of him out there dragging this girl through the hotel, beating the living shit out of her. And that's not enough to convict somebody for something, that you're looking for something else, so you're trying to get other people. That's the fucking problem, guys. We're looking for the bigger thing. We're looking for the more money. We're looking for the bigger charge. P. Diddy should be in jail for assaulting and attempted murder. There's a video of him doing it. Yeah, I know we got football players, baseball players, athletes, singers, entertainment. People get caught doing something. And all of a sudden we say we're sorry, or they say they're sorry, and then, all right, whatever. Listen, I don't roll with, somebody does something, I stop listening to music, or they say something, I stop listening to music or watching sports. If I like it, I'm just going to listen, and I'm not going to, Bruce Springsteen. Everybody's all over him now. Bruce Springsteen. Oh, you piece of shit liberal. Blah 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 blah. I still got to listen to Thunder Road, Rosalita, and you name the fucking great songs that Bruce Springsteen has pumped out in his illustrious almost 50 years of music. So if you're going to not listen to Bruce Springsteen, all of a sudden have to listen to him for 40 years because he's got some stupid shit to say about Trump, you're an idiot. That's just the way I feel. You know, I voted for Trump. Happily. Proudly voted for Trump. But I don't like him. I don't think he's a good guy. But I voted for him. Again, back to the Epstein things. I don't think he's on there being a pedophile and having sex with young girls. I just don't think that is his MO. I just don't. I think his narcissism and his honesty are his faults. I think the stuff that he says, he really thinks he can do because he said he will do it. And if he doesn't for some reason, that's on him. I think he takes a lot of this on him. That's just the way he is. But again, I didn't say I liked him, but I do. I think he's the president of the United States of America. I do. And that's the problem with a lot of people right now. He's not my president. You live in America, he's your president. It worked for years and years and years. The person that you voted for doesn't win, you fall in line, and he's the president, or she's the president, which we haven't had a she yet. And yeah, Democrats, you did a really good job with your she the last couple of times. Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, you can't come up with something better than that. How about you let yourself to Tulsi Gabbard? Oh, wait, she left your stupid party. Anyway, you had the woman right there. That woman right now is going after the Democratic Party hardcore. Now, let's just take this as what it is. Let's just say Obama is arrested for treason, is arrested for knowing all well that the Russian hoax or the Russians tampering with the election was a hoax. He knew about it. He set it up. Collusion, millions of dollars. Obama's a bad guy. Did he do the stuff while he was president? Oh, you can't convict him for something he did while he was in the Oval Office because that's what they're trying to do to Trump right now. They were trying to get him, but no, you can't because he's in the Oval Office. Regardless of all of that, if the United States of America indicts the only black president ever to be seated in the White House, you thought Rodney King was bad? You thought this George Floyd was bad? You thought, you name your riots throughout the years. That will divide this country more than anything. The OJ trial. You name your trial where there was protests. You name your decision where there was protests or decisions that affected people. The only thing that's going to affect people in general is the fact that you're looking at it just from a racial, vision. Not looking at it that maybe possibly there is a possibility that Obama could be guilty. Maybe it's a possibility that Trump can be guilty. Maybe it's a possibility that all of these politicians could be guilty of something. Just a matter of who's in charge. Who's in charge to push narratives? Who's in charge to push, whatever it is they're trying to do. Got to stop lying about each other. You got to stop out there telling mistruths. You put some stuff sometimes out there on these social media outlets, to be fun, kind of poke fun at stuff. I just had somebody comment on something that I post a video I did the other day. I mean, it got 6,000 views, to be honest with you. But this one person's comment kind of stuck. He goes, "Stop listening to news anchors." And I don't know if you know who you are, but everybody gets their news or their opinion based from somewhere. Now, I don't listen to news anchors. As a matter of fact, I posed a question last week on the same show. I said, where do you get your news from? Because if you think you just sit there in a dark room and come up with these thoughts all on your own, you're being skewed somehow. You're making up an opinion based on something. You make an opinion based on something that you've heard when you were a kid. Maybe you're based your opinion on something that you watched on a podcast. Or maybe you're basing your opinion on something that you saw on the news or read in the newspaper or read on Twitter or read somewhere. But you're getting stuff from somewhere. And it's even gotten to a point where if you read something, if you want to check and see if it's factual, I don't even believe some of those anymore. So what you really got to do is just take everything in, create your own decisions, be your own person, and don't yell and scream that you're right. Don't yell and scream that I'm wrong. Let's just realize that we're divided and our country is divided at a time where we Could disagree about stuff if we need to, but at the end of the day, our nation's security is paramount. I don't care what's going on in other countries, guys. I don't know. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, am I a bad person for not? Am I a bad person for just wanting to kind of, just get our shit together here first? Like I said something about, I said a word a while ago. I got called a racist. I'm going to go into that word at the end of the podcast here. Again, the fact that I don't care what people say, that's not what it is. It's just looking at the kind of way people think. And it has everything to do with money and nothing to do with common sense. Wars, homelessness. I brought up the fact that Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York State, said, you know what, here's $50 million to you migrants. You guys can't afford lawyers. No, we're going to pay for it. Sure. That's great. I know I said New York City. New York City. Attention, attention. If you're selling your house in the next year, wait. Because the way this is going, the Zohan and AOC are going to be taking over New York City. They're going to open up free grocery stores. Free grocery stores. That sounds great. Great. Everything's going to be free. Free taxis, free transportation. You can go on the subway for free. Can you believe that guy's free in New York City? I said free groceries. People are just going to walk around taking stuff off the shelves. Listen, they do that anyway because you can't prosecute a lot of these people in New York City. I guess, there's people running out of stores on a daily basis with steaks and whatever. I guess they need to feed their families, but, they shouldn't be here in the first place. These trickle-down effects of these people coming into this country, these migrants coming into this country, it's really putting a hurt on the country because now you want to start giving people free stuff. Right, Zohan? Okay, who's going to pay for it? Oh, your idea is to tax the rich. Let's tax the rich. Let's tax the businesses. Let's tax the billion-dollar businesses. That sounds great. Let's go. Let's topple it. Let's throw all the tea in the ocean. Yeah. Fuck the government. Let's tax all these big businesses. Then I'm going to give everybody stuff for free. What are you, Robin Hood? When you say tax the rich, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But that's who you're going to be taking the money from. When you say rich, you mean middle class. You mean the big chunk of people that are paying the taxes. You also mean big businesses, and I do get that. We got to figure something else out about what's going on with the tax situation with people that make all this money. But the taxes are set up for Republicans and Democrats. If you're rich, it's set up for you to succeed. And what you want to do with your money, and unlike the Zohan, there should be billionaires in this country. Get out there and get it, guys. Okay? Everything's not equal in this world. There's winners and there's losers. There's people who are lazy and there's people who are not. There's people who want to do for themselves every day, and there's people that just want to take. New York City has a shit ton of people right now that just want to take. And you guys elect the Zohan, you guys in that city who don't want him to be your mayor and don't want AOC and Bernie Sanders to be walking down the streets with their rainbow flags. And that's another thing. Gotta get away from that narrative. Gays and lesbians, I'm saying it again, and I know I say it every single podcast. This is getting ridiculous. Please, you need to disconnect yourselves from the fact that you're fighting the same fight or fought the same fight that people on the rest of the letters or, transgender and binary, non-binary, questioning. You have a history of fighting. You have a history, and now it's come to a point where I've always accepted it because it's not even a question, but more people are accepting it. More people are going to gay weddings. More people are observing what gays and lesbians are doing for children who are orphaned, coming from parents that don't want their kids. You're adopting children. You're making money for the communities. You being pillars of your community. Doesn't matter who you have sex with, you're a good person. But I'm telling you, all the rest of the stuff is a mental issue. Everything else involved with the rest of those letters is a mental issue. So a strong gay or lesbian leader has to stand up because your rights are being shit all over by these narratives. And if Mandani and AOC have it right, they're going to tell you that. They're going to give you the world. But at the end of the day, if you're rich, and a lot of you gays in New York City are rich, they're taking your money too. Go ahead. Vote for Mandani. Vote for this guy. This guy's going to be the leader of New York City. The leader. Howard Stern. Not going to spend too much time on him. What I do have to say is you let down a bunch of people in this country. I'm going to isolate this even a little bit. I'm going to go and I'm going to tag you in this, and they got millions of followers. But Howard Stern should be ashamed of himself. Howard Stern spent his life making jokes that are extremely funny. I'm not saying this because I didn't think it was great. You completely changed the landscape of talk radio. You made it okay to do fart jokes. You made it okay to make fun of retarded people. You made it okay to make fun of gays and lesbians. You made it okay to throw baloney at girls' asses, have strippers in your studio, have your interviews with these people and ask them outrageous questions. You changed the scope of freedom of speech. You said, fuck the FCC. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want. And I know there's going to be repercussions, but I'm going to do it anyway. You are now turning into the person that fought against you, who said that throwing baloney at girls' asses wasn't right. Having somebody on your show called Gary the Retard, the midget. Beetlejuice was a midget black guy who he was retarded, right? And other people, you say you exploited them. I will not. I will say that you made them relevant. You gave them some relevance in their life. Gary the Retard made a lot of money, I'm sure, more money than he would have ever made being who he was. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice might have been dead. Beetlejuice made a lot of money because of you. Artie Lang saw right through you. Jackie the Joke Man saw right through you. Fred Norris stuck with him a long time, and Robin. What do you think of your guy right now? What do you think of the guy that used to stand up for the right to say whatever you want, now telling us that we can't, or it's mean, or Trump is mean, or I had him on my show, and you are a shill for the liberal party. I'm not even going to say the Democrat party. You get up there and you talk about how everybody's mean, how Trump is a jerk, how I don't even know if you said it, but you leaving the country. I don't know, maybe not going that far, but you turned your back on freedom of speech when you said that the stuff that goes on is mean. So Howard Stern, go fuck yourself, and thank you. Thank you for opening up the doors to people like Opie and Anthony, who I enjoyed listening to for years and years and years. And all the rest of those crazy shows, like Hulk Hogan's dead. I'm not going to go too much into that. But didn't he used to watch Mancow? Didn't Mancow used to watch Hulk Hogan have sex with his wife? Mancow, another guy, come from the Howard Stern tree. All these guys throughout the country who went on regular radio and said, fuck you to regular radio. You have Howard Stern to thank for that. Now you're going to turn around and look at this man like, what a pussy. That's my rant on Howard Stern. Trump, South Park. You canceled Colbert. Completely against that. Why are we canceling Stephen Colbert? I think Stephen Colbert is not funny at all. I think Stephen Colbert is a douche. I don't think his jokes are funny. And from what I understand, he's losing money for CBS. Now, all that might be true. He's not my cup of tea, but it seems to be that some kind of merger with Paramount and money and this and that in the media cycles and what media outlet bought this media outlet. Stephen Colbert could say whatever he wants, even if it's not funny. I know a lot of people that say what they want. It's not funny. I know a lot of people that say what they want. It's mean, but they could say what they want. I say a lot of shit, out of pocket stuff. I say a lot of stuff that be misconstrued as mean. I just go about it a different way. I don't have any feelings. You can say what you want about me. Other people do, I guess, and I have to watch out for that. But Stephen Colbert is not funny, but you know what? Stephen Colbert could say whatever the hell he wants. Right, Howard Stern? But I don't think he should lose his job just because he said something about the president of the United States. And here comes the part that I don't like about this guy, because this is going to be a big one for me, because I already told you guys that I voted for him proudly. I voted for him because I feel like safety of our country is paramount. I don't want to give everything away. I feel like he's a strong leader. I feel like he's a better communicator. I feel like he gets shit done for us, not for them. When I say them, I mean 30 to 40 million migrants that ran into this country. Cares about the United States of America. Yeah, I'm sure that he has, interests other places, but I think at the end of the day, he cares and he wants to get stuff done. South Park gets canceled, or if South Park gets shit for this last episode, which, by the way, was unbelievably funny. I thought his outlook on Trump's personality was perfect. I think the parody of what is going on in this world is so genius. Now, if you want to go back in history and if you're a South Park fan like myself, everything that's happened, every kind of thing that needed to be parodied, how ridiculous, and people could look into how ridiculous shit is, South Park did it. So right now, if you haven't seen it yet, go and watch a South Park episode with Donald Trump. Funny as shit. But if that show gets canceled, or if that show gets shit, Donald Trump's a loser. Because, again, free speech to say whatever the fuck you want. Look, I saw Succession. Anybody out there seen Succession? Anybody what goes on in that world? Anybody knows these billionaires? I heard that Succession might be based on Rupert Murdoch. But at the end of the day, it's based on media outlets having control. And who is the top dog at that media control is going to control the narrative. For 4 years, all I heard about was transgender swimmers. All I heard was we have to give everybody a trophy. All I heard was, unemployment's going up. Our taxes are going. That's all I heard. Now we're hearing this. It's all who controls the media. Right now, Trump being president, I'm 100% okay with that, because that side has got no shot in my eyes right now. You need to do something if you want to even have a thought of competing in 3 years against the Republicans. Elon Musk wants to start a third party. Who knows? I might catch on to that third party, because you know what? The middle needs somewhere to go. The middle, I mean by the people that stand by their middle values, that stand by the fact that they could disagree with the person they voted for president, but still be proud of the person that they voted for. The middle needs somewhere to go where they could voice their opinion and say, I don't like what's going on the right, and I don't like what's going on the left. The middle is strong. So Washington, White House, no matter who's in that office, what are you going to do when the middle, that consists of about 100 million people, shows up on your doorstep and is really pissed off? Got to do something, because what's happening right now is absolutely embarrassing. These wars, got to bring everybody home. Have to. We have a lot of shit to take care of here. Yeah, I feel bad for those people a little bit, but I go to work every single day in Harlem, New York. People in Harlem, New York right now who have been living there for years and years, they don't have a shot, man. No jobs. The streets are filthy and nobody cares. It's not that nobody cares. It's we're giving everything away. You want to help people? You want to give them a shot in life? Help them. Really help them. Not tell them that they're being looked down upon. Not tell them that they don't have a shot. Not give them everything. I say it's okay. You could just sit back. You could collect this. You could collect that. We'll give you benefits. We'll just raise all the working people's taxes. Don't be happy with that. Tell me to go to work. Tell me to work hard, but give me something to do. And that implies putting some money into our own country. That's right. I said America. And when I mean America first, I mean America first. I don't give a shit about France. I don't give a shit about Italy. I don't give a shit about Ireland. I know this is going to sound harsh. This is our country. We are all Americans, and we're under attack from our own people who feel bad for people who are let in here illegally. How does that sound? Now, I'm going to leave you guys on a definition. I said this word last week, and I'm going to read you the definition, and that's where my podcast is going to end. You tell me in the comments what you feel about this definition, and I'm going to see you guys next Saturday. Nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology that emphasizes loyalty, devotion, allegiance to a nation or nation state. These such obligations outweigh other individual or groups' interests. Nationalism. Racist? I don't think so.